Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block, and I'm here with our weekly video and tip on creating an indoor space that truly supports your health and your wellness. This week we're going to be talking about contaminants in your water and how important water is to a healthy space indoors. A lot of times our water is the last thing that we work to improve when it comes to our healthy house, and the truth is that it's actually one of the most important things that we can change and improve upon. We are going to go through some very important toxins that you need to know about in your water. And they are not all toxins and contaminants that come from outside your home. Some of them are actually present due to the piping and materials inside your house. And so this is going to help you determine what type of filter that you need to have in your own home. We are also going to talk about how to test your water very simply and very easily to make sure that you are using the right kind of filter. So let's get going.
One of the most forgotten areas of any healthy house is the water we use. Water quality in the United States is often completely forgotten about as we leave our treatment up to cities and counties, and we just kind of trust that the water is clean and safe. But the truth is, as homeowners and citizens, it is our responsibility to double check and to verify that we are in fact using water that isn't harming our body. Most of us don't even think twice about checking our water. But why would we? It looks clean, it tastes fine, so it's probably okay. We trust the cleaning agents that are added and feel confident our water is completely pure. This, unfortunately, is a really naive way of viewing our water. Water is one of the most important parts of healthy living, so it's imperative to make sure it's completely safe and completely pure. Depending on where you live in the world, water can have different levels of risk. Our water quality deserves a little bit more attention when it comes to creating a healthy home to match our healthy lifestyle. But where do you even start? First, we're going to look at some of the top contaminants that are affecting water within many homes and around our country. Then I'm going to give you all of my recommendations on getting your water to be healthy for your family. So the first toxin we're going to talk about is lead. Lead is unable to be used by our bodies at all, and therefore it is absorbed and stored in our tissue, in our bones, and in our teeth. Children absorb much more lead when ingested compared to adults, and it can re-enter the bloodstream and circulate throughout the body instead of being detoxed. Lead exposure can result in some really awful health complications in children, including slowed growth, lower IQ, behavior problems, learning problems, hyperactivity, anemia, and hearing problems. And if you're pregnant, lead can cause premature birth, and it can cause the reduced growth of the fetus inside. And even in adults, lead exposure can lead to decreased kidney function, reproductive problems, and increased blood pressure. Arsenic is a toxin that has recently been identified in several communities, and it's often a result of improper disposal of waste. Arsenic in tap water has been linked to an increased risk of cancer because it is a known carcinogen. It has also been linked to a rise in diabetes, neurological effects such as memory function and intellectual function, especially when exposure happens during childhood. Arsenic in tap water has also been linked to cardiovascular disorders and diseases, and it's been shown to have an impact on pregnant women, causing preterm birth and an increased risk of stillbirth. Mercury is another toxin that should really be tested for in tap water, as it is naturally occurring in some soil and rock. It can also come from various sources of waste like burning fossil fuels and medical waste, and mercury is most closely associated with neurological and behavior disorders. It has been linked to tremors, to insomnia, memory issues, headaches, and issues with the immune system, lungs, and kidneys. It's a really serious toxin that is very poisonous to the body, and it really should be filtered out immediately. Nitrates can often be found in groundwater, especially in areas with a lot of agricultural activity. Nitrates in water can actually be deadly for infants under 6 months old as it binds to the hemoglobin in their blood, restricting the amount of oxygen that gets into their blood. It has also been linked to birth defects when ingested by pregnant mothers, and nitrates have been linked to different types of cancers that affect the stomach and the gastrointestinal tract. Normally, radon is tested for in the air within our homes, but radon can also be in our water sources. The same concern for lung damage applies when there is radon in our drinking water, as it gets into the air through evaporation when water is used at home. Radon in drinking water can also lead to an increased risk of stomach cancer as the toxin is ingested as well as inhaled, and it's been linked to bladder cancer when ingested as well. And finally, chlorine. Consuming drinking water with chlorine has been shown through multiple studies to increase the risk of bladder cancer. It has also been linked to breast cancer and bowel cancer. Other non-cancerous effects of chlorine in water leads to irritation of the liver and the intestinal tissue. And if you want another side effect of chlorinated water, it can actually weaken your teeth and increase tooth decay. The chlorine appears to corrode teeth due to the hydrochloric acid that is formed and can also cause inflammation to the lining of the mouth. As painful as it may be to know what's really going on with your water, I think the best way to start when you are looking to get a filtration system in your home is to have your water tested. So the biggest reason you want this knowledge on your side is because it will help you determine which filter will work best to remove contaminants from your water. Areas of the country can have drastically different results when it comes to their tap water. If you live in an area with a lot of agriculture and farms, you have a higher risk of pesticide contaminants and nitrates, which will be filtered out differently in comparison to high levels of chlorine byproducts that are often found in urban areas. So when you're trying to figure out which water filter is going to work best for your home and for your family's needs, it is essential to know what you need to filter out of the water and if you'll need a whole house water filter system or if you'll need a point of use system due to contaminants that could be in your own piping or your water heater. And really, the biggest reason you should have your water tested completely is because it's extremely important to know if you've been exposed to toxins that you need to seek medical help to detox from. Lead in water, especially for kids, is serious because this type of toxin builds up in their systems and can really lead to long-term health risks. The problem with ingesting toxins is that they're taking a one-way trip directly to the bloodstream, and on the way they're affecting the gut as well as other systems. So having your water tested at home is vital to your health and wellness. And I recommend TapScore. So if you head to the blog post link, you can figure out how to order your own water test. You'll then choose the test for either city water or well water, depending on what your home currently has. And once you have your test, you simply follow their instructions and send it in to get your full report. Another important thing to remember is that some contaminants can actually come from inside your home. So often we think that the way our water becomes contaminated is well before it travels to our own home. But the truth is that our piping material, our water heater health, our faucets, and the solder used to connect our pipes can all contain toxins that leach into water. And while so many people get a whole house filter and just call it a day, it's important to also have a drinking water filter that's a point of use filter. This specific filter will help remove anything from your water that has been leached from inside your home. So water heaters that aren't kept up to the standard 120 degrees can begin to grow bacteria that can then travel through your home and your fixtures. Piping materials such as PEX can contain plastic toxins that can leach into hot water that is run through these pipes. However, this can drop off after a lengthy period of time that water's been running through the pipes. Faucets are another place that lead is actually allowed to be, even with current regulations and standards. Not all faucets are 100% lead-free, and those trace amounts that are allowed in the faucet can be leaching into your water. In this case, you'd want a countertop or pitcher filter to reduce lead exposure after the faucet. And then finally, if you have copper pipes in your home, they are most likely soldered together with, well, solder. Older solder and even some new imported solder can contain lead toxins, which could then leach into your water supply. Copper piping is often lines that run directly to your fixtures and your faucets, meaning this is an area for concern. So make sure you use a point of use filter if you do have copper pipes that were installed prior to 1986. So I know that water filter systems are an investment for most families, but honestly, you don't have to drop a fortune on a filter right now if you don't have the means to do so. Any filter is better than no filter. Even a pitcher filter is going to do more than having no filter at all. But if you are ready to add a water filter to your home, here are a few that I highly recommend. So Hydroviv is an innovative company that has worked hard to create filters that not only remove chemicals like chlorine and lead, but they also work to remove PFAs, arsenic, and other synthetic chemicals that can end up in our water due to a variety of sources. A new filter that is out is the WaterDrop A1. It is perfect for apartments or an RV or your office. It's perfect when you don't want to deal with trying to install a system in your home. This is a countertop filter that is very easy to replace the cartridge on, and it's a simple solution to filtered water. And the last one is an under sink water filter system that will decrease chlorine and effectively absorb lead, chloramine, fluoride, heavy metals, VOCs, and so much more. And because the filter uses KDF media, it is also efficient at removing mercury as well. And all three of these are linked on the blog post, and I do have a coupon code for the WaterDrop A1 and this ultrafiltration system. So water is such an important part of our daily life and our health and wellness. It can really either contribute to your health or work against it. So make water a healthy priority in your own home, and your future self will thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you can get some sort of filter in your home, whether it's just a pitcher filter or whether you decide to go the route of a whole house filter with a point of use filter, whatever works best for your family. I also hope that you will subscribe to my channel because I am here every single week with healthy house tips and ideas on creating a space that truly supports your health and wellness.